Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando, that's Corey, and today we're doing 1995's Sudden Death. Before we get started, if you want to follow me or Corey on Twitter, you can follow me at Junior D's. You can follow Corey at Corey_idol for some subpar tweeting. If you want to follow the show, you can follow us at Kiss the Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Better tweets and talks and all kinds of stuff there. But yeah, you can follow us there. And yeah, for those of you who don't know, this show is supposed to be funny. So we'll try to make this entertaining for you as well. So before we get into the movie, we'll start off with the cast.
First of all, there's nothing funny about a hockey arena being held and threatened by terrorism. That's all I'm saying. This is serious, goddammit, and we're going to talk about domestic terrorism for 2.5 hours. This is my TED Talk.
You're absolutely right. Welcome to Corey's TED Talk.
Corey Talk.
This movie stars Jean-Claude Van Damme as Darren McCord, Powers Boothe as Joshua Foss, Dorian Harewood as Hallmark, and Raymond J as Vice President. It literally, in the credits, it just says Vice President. He doesn't even have a name.
This is what part of the strike is about, bro. Like, if they had actually named him Vice President Johnson, they would have had to pay him more money. So they're just like, Vice President.
Is it possible this story is true?
This movie I saw in the theater, and back in 1995, I loved every minute of it. And in 2023, I was like, wow, I was stupid.
You were right.
Can I just say this in general?
No.
And this goes to screenwriters, people who may sign on to be in a movie, whether you're a key grip or a director, an actor, whatever, or just a real life, potential domestic terrorist. This covers everything.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, all of those people. Uncle Corey here. If you are going to hatch a big plot to get $1 billion and you have all these things and you planted explosives all around the hockey arena and you're really about to fucking set it off in order to get your money, don't kidnap a vice president because nobody fucking cares. Okay? Let me take you back to a quieter time. Let's say January 6th, 2021. When a vice president was almost killed by his own party because he held up the Constitution. Nobody cares about a vice president, bro. Don't kidnap them. If you call me and you're like, I got the vice president here held hostage, that's where the call ends. I don't fucking care.
They're gonna sacrifice a life to test my will.
We'll get into the movie, but you're going to take the vice president hostage where the president doesn't, because he'd be like, cool story, bro. Murder away, guys. And hang up. That's one. Two, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's your big, guys, I got a plan. Game 7, Stanley Cup playoffs.
That's the sport ball version of kidnapping the vice president.
Yes. Here's the other thing, too. They had to plan this within, I don't know, a few hours. Because this isn't the Super Bowl. For those of you who don't sport ball, the Super Bowl is like, okay, this is the date. They set that a year in advance. This is the day that the Super Bowl will be played, and it's one game, and that's it. Hockey's a little bit different because you're not guaranteed 7 games. It just, oh my God, they tied it up in Game 6. Now there's a Game 7 in 2 days. So maximum, you took 24 hours to hatch this plan. I mean, it kind of goes off like they had 24 hours to hatch this plan. But
Oh, 100%.
It's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, guys. What are we doing here? But whatever. Neither here nor there. And as Corey likes to say, no, it's all here. So let's get into this movie. So the movie opens with JCVD putting out a fire with his fire department. He's one of the firefighters. He's trapped in a house with a child. He gets freed by some of the other firefighters, and he rolls over and sees that the girl that he was trying to save is dead because apparently he just smothered her to death.
Dude, okay, look. Did they raid Roman Polanski's old closet for this little dead girl? She looks so real. Like, did they literally kill a little... I know women aren't that worth shit in Hollywood, so did they just fucking kill this little girl?
And then it flashes forward like a year or something, because he is like, I killed a child with my chest, and I cannot be a fireman anymore. So we see JCVD here, who goes to visit his kids and to bring his son a birthday gift of 2 tickets to the Penguins Game 7 Stanley Cup game.
Look, I know he's our protagonist and his wife really comes off as a fucking see you next Tuesday, but...
Corey's life lessons!
Hi, ex-husbands. Uncle Corey here. I know you want to be hero dad, especially, and stick it to mom and fucking Ned Flanders that she married, this fucking wet drip of an Applebee's order, but let's check ourselves when just randomly showing up on the kid's birthday like, hey, I got 2 tickets for the hockey game, let's go. Like, you're fucking up a lot of people's day, dude. That's a dick move.
On his birthday, which typically it's like, oh, we're going to throw him a birthday party. He's like, no, I think you'll Game 7.
Like they were on their way to fucking Applebee's because Ned's like, oh, I can get the 2 for $20 meal.
The pot stickers are yummy. So, well, and I got an issue with fucking pot sticker guy because the pot sticker stepdad. Because here's the thing that, you know what, I'll just do it. Don't do that.
Don't do that, it's not good for you.
Hi, stepdads. Real quick. Okay, now you're in this situation, as Corey said, the real dad shows up and is like, I got 2 tickets and I know I'm an asshole and whatever. Cool, that's fine. You can have the discussion. A, don't do it in front of the kids. This is what you also don't do in front of the fucking kids. Because the stepdad, pot sticker guy, is like...
Your dad's a fire inspector at the game. It's very important work. Kathy tells me it's only temporary.
And he doesn't even say temporary. He says temporary. You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, guy. Okay? Pronounce it properly next time, fuckface. And don't demean the dad in front of the kids. Don't do that. Now, I wanted not only JCVD to, like, defuse all the bombs... At the end of it, I wanted both the mom and the stepdad to show up like, oh my God, we just want to make sure, and he just knocks the stepdad out. Like, that's how I wanted the movie to end. We then see the bad guys doing some bad things and pretending like they're stadium workers. And when they leave, they use this kitchen timer for a random bomb in a Penguins doll for some reason. And it just explodes. And it's not even like, it's like a firecracker was inside of it. And I'm like, that's what you're going to plan to blow the stadium up with?
We're going to scare the shit out of every little kid and cover them with fucking cotton. We got you.
This is such a crock of shit.
The whole setup to this thing is fucking ridiculous. Like, he got 2 tickets for his kids because he's the fucking fire marshal at this game. Or for this game.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're still doing your job as the game is happening. Like, people are there, and you're like, oh, the light bulb needs to be changed. That's really weird. Like, this all should have been done. These are all fire hazards you're dealing with in real time that should have been dealt with well before the game started. And how are you sitting down with your kids at all? You got 2 tickets for them to a Game 7 of a Stanley Cup playoff, and you're still able to just sit? You have no ticket.
I think he's just sitting on like the steps, like next to the kids.
Oh,
But
fuck him.
I got a couple of things I want to point out here. His kids are fucking assholes because like he's like, oh, I changed the light bulb, and she's like, I thought he was a fireman. Like he just changes light bulbs, and the son is like, no, he's just helping out. And then when they're in the seats, he was like,
Dad's not really a fireman anymore, Emily.
I'm glad you brought this up because we need to talk. The little girl, fine, whatever. She's doing typical cliched little girl things.
Yeah, she's fine.
Fine. The son, I feel like his character was written again in real time, and like a dad had a really good time with his child of divorce for like half a day while he was writing the script, and then he actually was like, I gotta go work tonight, Johnny, like I'll be right back, and click clack click clack click clack. And then Johnny's like, you never pay any attention to me, Dad. You don't do anything, Dad. You just lie on paper, Dad. And then he just turned the kid into a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Because this little bipolar son of a bitch tweaks he is like the picture perfect kid going to this game on his birthday. Like, yeah, it's my hat, but I don't really care. It's my hat still. And then they show up to the game, and he's got, like, sulfuric acid in a water bottle and a squirt gun. And he's fucking squirting his fucking sister, and his dad all of a sudden, like, literally for no reason, is a piece of shit bum who he fucking hates. Yeah. But also, he still listens to through the whole movie.
But it's only for, like, this little pocket.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. For about 4 minutes of this movie, it's like, I don't know, did he have food poisoning? He had a bad hot dog? Like something happened where he was just like, screw Dad. And he was an asshole for about 4 minutes. But before and after that, he's like the picture perfect child. He listens, he doesn't move, he sits.
Yeah.
Because that's what he was told to do. But everything else for that 4 minutes, he's like, fuck everybody. I'm doing me for the next 4 minutes.
You were right.
And we also get some more setup here. So we got he used to be a firefighter guy. And then before, his son becomes an asshole, JCVD takes his son into the locker room, introduces him to all the players, and we get here that Dad used to be a hockey player, but, his kids think he's a piece of shit because he changes light bulbs now. But, like, he was like, yes, I used to play in the minor leagues in Canada because I'm French-Canadian. This is the only thing that made sense about the movie is they made his character French-Canadian.
Yes. Named Darren McCord.
Yes. We then have some thug who takes Granny hostage, and he has Granny call her husband, who's the chef at the stadium. She tells him to take his quote-unquote newly appointed assistants to the vice president's box with him, because the vice president's going to be there, and yada, yada, yada. Dude, I got a couple of things here. Okay, and first things first. You're going undercover as stadium workers and security. Can we get guys who look like stadium workers and security people, not the cast-offs from Police Academy 3 or whichever one where they go to the zoo and they're dressed up like, leather-clad fucking gangsters or whatever the fuck? Like earrings and nose rings and porn mustaches, and it's like, you all look like you're about to rob a convenience store. But no, this is the Secret Service guy. No, it's not. This is stadium security. No, it's not.
No, that's the guy in the rival bike gang in Sons of Anarchy. It doesn't get a name. His name is Rival Gang Member 1 because he gets shot in the shootout.
You're right.
Let's just call this what it is. I appreciate that you're doing a Die Hard meets Black Sunday kind of thing. I get it. Okay, JCVD movies, they literally knock off every other kind of movie that's ever been made in some way, shape, or form. We get that.
I see what you did there.
You like that? Yeah. Available now, because there it is. So I appreciate the fact that you are doing the Die Hard, right? You have the fighter guys down low, like they did at Nakatomi Plaza, right? Yeah. And then upstairs, you have the guys in nicer clothes, who can still fuck shit up. But then you have your computer nerd who's got his glasses on and is a little bit psychotic. And then you have, your well-dressed, well-spoken villain, da-da-da-da. But like Armando said, the difference between Nakatomi Plaza or even Die Hard 2 working all these guys in an airport versus this is your guys look like fucking prisoners.
Yes.
And I don't mean oh, they were in prison. I mean actively in prison.
Yeah. Don't hire guys that have teardrop tattoos.
And so when you're doing $1 billion technical heist where you've implanted military-grade C4 all along the base of the arena to explode it to help hide your getaway, Die Hard, and, you have your ruthlessness upstairs and you're well-dressed and well-spoken, hire the same guys. You're stealing $1 billion and kidnapping the vice president of the United States and killing about 20 to 30,000 people to get away. So
and
hire better help. That's all we're saying.
100%. And they get in here, they start murdering literally everybody in the stadium to get to the box where the vice president is. Mm-hmm. And this is all as the national anthem plays. The thugs finally get into the VP's box, murder a few people there, including the chef, some Secret Service. JCVD then leaves his kids in their seats while they watch the game so he can go change light bulbs and whatnot. And Dollar Store Craig T. Nelson here then tells the vice president that his whole plan, he wants to unfreeze frozen assets from a number of countries and during the game transfer all the money into their account little by little. Why? Why little by little? So nobody's gonna know?
Right.
What are we doing here?
What is happening?
You even say later that you're funneling it through this bank and you have a deal with this, 12 of these other banker presidents, and you're filtering it through these countries and this country that's also going to go through that country after. Send it. Just fucking send it. And again, to show his resolve, he starts shooting people. And I have a problem with this because all you're doing is shooting inconsequential people.
Listen, in this movie, the whole movie, and I'm glad you brought that up because you don't know my notes. You don't see my notes before we record this. And literally, throughout this, all of the inconsequential people to this movie get killed. Literally. At epic peak times. Here, kill some people that matter and then go, and now you're next. But I need to keep you alive because of X, Y, and Z. And he was like, no, the mayor's wife. Who gives a shit?
Right? Shoot the mayor.
We get here Hallmark, who starts calling in cops. Literally, all the cops in Pennsylvania show up here outside of the arena. And JCVD's two bratty-ass kids do what they do. This is where his daughter runs to the bathroom because dipshit McGee made her spill her soda on herself. And when she gets to the bathroom, she sees the Penguins mascot killed a woman. And then she gets taken hostage and taken up to the VP's box.
And this is a great lesson for kids.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, snot-nosed little shits. Uncle Corey here. You met somebody before they started their adult job. Whether it's a mascot, a fucking carnival ride person, monitoring the water slide at your water park. You've met an adult that liked you and you liked them. That's cool. When they have their thing on or they're doing the thing and they have their whistle and blah, leave them the fuck alone. They're at work. Everything that happened to you is because you couldn't leave the fucking person at work alone.
I see.
What were you going to do? My brother was mean to me and I need somebody to cry to right now because I spilled a Sprite on me. No, a Coke. No, a Sprite. No, I think it was a Coke.
Sprite. No Coke.
Are you sure this time?
1 minute remaining.
She ain't got time for that. She got to go out there and entertain 30,000 people like your Uncle Corey. But here we are taking time out of our day to wipe your fucking tears.
JCVD actually sees the Penguin with Emily. He gives chase, and the Penguin then kills Secret Service agent. She takes Emily up to the VP's box, and the Penguin then goes to find McCord, and they fight it out until he kills her by kicking her into the dishwasher thing, whatever.
I cannot stress this enough. Unless you are making a comedy, and not JCVD's idea of like real comedy, not French comedy, real comedy.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to go for that, do not have your action hero fighting a fucking guy or girl in a mascot outfit. This was the dumbest / funniest shit I have ever seen in my life.
You were right.
This whole scene was ridiculous.
Oh, it's absurd, dude. Like, and let me frame it like this. Charlie Kelly getting his ass kicked by the Philly Fanatic.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get sued either by the Phillies or Major League Baseball. But him getting his ass kicked by the Fanatic was funny as shit.
Yes.
This was
a
funny
comedy.
as shit. Yeah. There's a difference between Always Sunny and Sudden Death.
Yes, exactly.
This was absurd.
But after this, he then goes to a security guard for help to find Emily. That's the last guy you want to go to for help. I don't care if you're a kid, an adult. You see that guy, go find another one with the security jacket.
You be JCVD in this and come up to the security guard.
Excuse me, Mr. Security Guard. My daughter has been stolen.
Yeah, brother? Why don't you tell me where she is? I'll help you find her for a pack of Marlboros. Like, that guy's not a security guard. That's obvious.
Never mind my teardrop tattoo. It's fine.
Right.
It's fine.
My Forrest Whitaker eyes twitching. But I'm a security guard.
I made some mistakes early on in life, but I straightened everything out. It's fine. It's fine. I do security now. So he goes and finds the security guy. JCVD then realizes that the security guy is a thug, and he forces him to tell him the whole plan about the bombs and the VP, etc. And he then kills him with a chicken bone to the neck. This, I will say, was kind of cool.
It was very cool. And I like the fact where he's like this ear's about to come off when he's melting it on the fucking stove griddle.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Absolutely.
I will say this, though. This is the second fight in the kitchen, and I'm done now.
Yeah.
No more kitchen fights.
No more kitchen fighting.
You've used it up.
Pick a new backdrop.
Yep.
McCord then goes to the Penguins front offices, their administrative offices. He finds a cell phone and calls 911. He talks to Hallmark, who's outside the stadium with all the cops in Pennsylvania. He tells them what's going on inside and tells them that he's going to defuse the bombs himself.
Because Hallmark doesn't want to do too much too fast. They're going by the book on this one.
You stay where you are. We are going to do this by the numbers. Corey's life lessons.
Hi, law enforcement agents. Uncle Corey here. Going by the book isn't something you should no, we're going to do it this time. Oh, that's why the book exists for you. Go by the book. That book is designed for you to literally live your professional lives by. Go by that. All the time. There is no wild card I don't know, maybe this time we should play it by the book. No, every time you should play it by the book. Every time.
Yes. There's no going rogue or it's the path less traveled. No, just do it as you should every time.
Yeah. Usually works out best for everyone.
Yeah. So JCVD then gets to work by mapping out the whole arena, getting some essential tools like a Zippo lighter and some lighter fluid. And I bet you that's going to come up later with the squirt gun that he took from his son earlier in the movie. The bad guys then find out all about McCord and his heroic tendencies, and they go searching for him as McCord finds the bombs and starts to defuse them. And I got one question here. I mean, multiple, but really one main question. JCVD was a fireman in this movie, and now he's like the fire marshal. Do they teach you how to defuse bombs with the precision that he's defusing said bombs in this movie? Because He's like, cool, I'm just cutting these wires, and then I know that he's not even, it's like behind a thing, and he cuts the 2 wires, and then he's like, oh yeah, there's obviously a switch here too, so I'm going to click the switch off. Do you learn that in like fire? Like, I thought they just like made you run through buildings with ladders and shit for like training.
No, typically you didn't go to public school, but it's usually an elective for freshmen and sophomores.
Okay.
And it's necessary in public schools. You can strip firearms, you can fucking wire and clip bombs, and it's a lot. But it's worth it. It's a good college credit, kids.
Okay.
It's a good college credit.
It's good to know.
Except for them Ivy League pussy-ass liberal schools.
So McCord then starts sending messages to Hallmark through like the billboard sign outside until that's blown up. Okay. I go through one scene and I got a major question. So in the box, okay, in the owner's box where the VP is, right? Mm-hmm. They have like the little nerdy guy, and you could tell he's a nerd because he's wearing like round, rimmed glasses, and he's got like a little flavor saver, and he's like, tick, 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 look at all the cameras, and the money's not there yet. And he's doing all this, right? And they got cameras and eyes everywhere. The thug that killed Granny earlier is like in a high-rise somewhere just with a rocket launcher for no fucking reason.
He's listening to Motley Crue on his fucking Walkman with that goddamn earring.
He's like, wild side! And just like launching rockets and everything. It's fucking great. But they have him outside checking that stuff. They got cameras all around the arena. And as like FBI and people are coming in, they're like, look at this guy. He's got khakis and a Penguins jacket. That's totally FBI. You don't have cameras where the bombs are?
No.
Not one. Not one camera. He's going around cutting wires, flipping switches. He's like, what? I'm fucking defusing all these bombs. Not a goddamn camera. Broke-ass Craig T. Nelson has to call him in the arena to figure out where he is. He's like, I heard crowd chants. He must be in section 2A. Get the fuck out of here.
It's all Die Hard. It's all Die Hard.
Yeah.
You were right.
So the guys on the roof, right? The JCVD is sending messages to the outside of the arena. So there's a guy outside the arena on an adjacent rooftop launching rockets at the sign, right? Okay, cool. No cop, no anybody on the ground went, look at that smoke trail. I think that fucking rocket came from that rooftop over there. That never dawned on anybody?
No, not at all. Not one guy.
Believe me, we know what the hell we're doing.
So, in the grand twist, we find out here that Hallmark, in the grand twist.
I know some of our fans like it when you do this close to your mouth.
In this big grand twist here, we find out that Hallmark and Joshua are working together. And Hallmark finds McCord. And when JCVD realizes that Hallmark crisscrossed him, he uses the lighter fluid and his son's super soaker to light him on fire. And McCord then calls Joshua and says, you want to play a game? And now it's a race to the end of regulation as he's defusing the bombs, and Brooke-ass Craig T. Nelson is trying to like find him, and his thugs are trying to find him, and it's like this whole damn thing.
That's the game we're gonna play, you piece of shit.
I was waiting until you actually brought up the big crisscross of Hallmark being a bad guy. So I have to ask a question. Maybe the most common sense question asked in this whole thing. You're in charge as Hallmark. You're playing double agent, right?
Yeah.
The only people talking to you about what's happening inside the arena are people inside the arena. Why the fuck did you call every fucking known agency on the planet? You could have stalled all of this outside interference for a very long time.
Yes. We need to keep this
long time.
We need to keep this quiet. We don't want to induce panic. We don't. No, he immediately at the beginning of this movie is like, we can't get the fucking VP on the line. Like, call call the National Guard, the Army, the Navy. You got Navy SEALs coming up out of the water in Pittsburgh. Like, there's all kinds of crazy shit going on there.
It's absurd, and it's just like, why? Why? There is no need for all those people outside. You're talking, as Powers Boothe's character, you're talking to, like, CIA officials and Hallmark. You're not talking to any other kind of hostage negotiator or anything. This is bullshit.
Yeah. No, it's all bullshit.
Bullshit.
Well, and if this wasn't bullshit enough, we get the big scene here where the thugs find JCVD, they chase him through the arena, and we see, like, the starting goalie getting removed, or removing himself because he's too sick to play. The backup goaltender goes in, he sucks ass, and JCVD gets chased into the locker room where he dresses in the starting goaltender's gear, and then the head coach puts him in the game.
Makes perfect sense. And then what I love to hear is he makes a stop or does something. I don't remember what he did exactly.
He makes a great save, and then he gives his son
looks at his son and his son.
I love you.
Way the fuck up in section Z is able to, like, go, I think that's my dad.
Dad?
Why? Why would you think that? Why would you think this starting goalie is giving you the same? Get the fuck out of here. This kid has so many problems.
He wants a dad so bad.
Oh,
and he was like,
yeah,
that starting goaltender is my father.
It's sad. He's like fucking Peter Quill from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, my dad's David Hasselhoff.
Here's the other part. Because he's like, oh, well, I obviously need to get out of this game. The game's ending and the whole thing's going to blow up. So what does he do? He knocks out one of the opposing players and he gets kicked out of the game. So we get to basically the end of this game, right? And towards the end of this movie. And, you know, JCVD gets back to the locker room. He's getting chased by more thugs. The Penguins here tie the game as the buzzer goes off. And the game goes into sudden death. They did the thing here.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Now, what's funny about this is Powers Boothe is like, all right, I guess it's I said till the end of the game.
Dude, so what? Apparently, they give the government more time because of hockey rules. Now they changed all the rules to this whole fucking plan because the hockey game went into overtime and he was like, well, I guess the president has about, I don't know, 12 more minutes because sudden death?
Oh my God.
What are we doing here?
I've killed multiple women and children today, but hey, word is bond, yo. Till the end of the game.
The NHL commissioner told me I got to stick to the rule book. So we're sticking to the rule book. It goes into sudden death. You're so lucky we got a little bit more time to get that $1 billion. Get the hell out of here with all your bullshit. This is so stupid.
So dumb. And let me just throw this out there just for shits and giggles. Just because you named the movie Sudden Death doesn't mean the game needed to go into sudden death.
Yes.
The sudden death is implied with, you know, the metaphor, not the actual literal game. And sudden death. You didn't have to do it.
You were right.
Oh my God. So I'm sorry. So JCVD here gets some more equipment and he climbs to the top of the stadium where he finds another goon and he kicks him off the stadium and he opens the stadium roof, fights another guy who falls onto the stadium board, and this is where shit starts going crazy. And
this was the most realistic part of the movie is when the guy hits the thing and the announcers go, holy shit!
Holy shit!
That's exactly what the fuck you do when shit explodes in the stadium. You say holy shit and you get the fuck out of there.
As fast as you can. So everybody starts losing their shit. People are running all over the place. Whatever, Joshua, whatever his name is, he lets off one of the bombs. and there's toilet water all over the stadium now or whatever the fuck. So people are getting washed away. And JCVD swings into the owner's box, throws a sulfur bomb or some shit, and jumps through the hole in the top of the box, starts shooting everything in sight, but manages to miss everyone of importance. So all the minor thugs, Thug 1, Thug 3, Thug 5, they all get shot. You know, Breg T. Nelson makes it out of the owner's box and he goes running away. The entire stadium empties here as JCVD's son still stays in his seat like a good little boy. And JCVD then finds him, they hug it out. Emily then sees Joshua and he takes her, runs away. JCVD chases him down. Joshua gets to the roof with her. Van Damme catches up, they fight, and Joshua gets away into the helicopter on the little ladder thing, but JCVD jumps onto the ladder, hangs on, shoots through the bottom of the helicopter, and again, shoots everyone that doesn't matter. He jumps off the ladder onto the roof, and the helicopter crashes into the stadium onto the ice. And the movie ends as his kids are now proud of him.
The kid that actually listened to his father throughout the whole movie and there really was no problem, still listened at the end of the movie. So his arc is as flat as a fucking 12-year-old boy. It's just he has no arc. He has no point of being. I did it, Dad. I stayed. Yeah, because you've listened to everything I've asked you to do. Of course you stayed.
Yes.
And by the way, kids, it's cool that your dad tells you to stay, but when an entire stadium is being fucking emptied out because of explosions inside the stadium, man, pick your little ass up and get the fuck outside. They'll find you.
100%. 100%.
Stupid ass kid.
Yeah.
His situational awareness is dog shit. He's going to die at age 13 in a subway.
We'll just say he's not independent. He's not an independent thinker. He was like, oh, I was told the thing, and now I'm doing the thing. And that's all he does throughout this movie. Again, except for the little 4-minute piece where he just decides to be an asshole for no reason. But, dude, at the end of it all, again, like I said, I saw this in theaters when it came out. I loved this movie when I saw it. More at the time, I realized how ridiculous it was. I just enjoyed it. It was entertaining to me. Watching it now, this movie is so ridiculous that, like, I don't even know what to do with it.
No, a lot of the problems I think with this movie aren't necessarily in the plot. It's with the characters themselves. Our bad guy gets more background and has more depth of a character than our main character does.
Yeah.
Van Damme is a wet fucking blanket of a character. There is nothing. He displays no emotion, no haunted past from his fucking... He's fine. He's in a good mood this entire movie. You know what I mean?
Dude, he has his haunted past is a 45-second scene at the beginning of this movie where he smothers a child in a fire.
And it never comes up, but there is zero regret or remorse other than to say he's kind of an out-of-work fire guy.
Yeah.
And that's like how he gets into this. That's it.
Yeah.
Powers Boothe, first off, I've tolerated your bullshit with your broke-ass Craig T. Nelson. Powers Boothe is a fucking god. R.I.P. And that's Curly Bill from Tombstone. Don't ever disrespect Powers Boothe. But his problem in this movie was they tried making him too interesting.
Yeah.
Stop with all these fucking cool one-liners and like, I got a jab for everything you say to me and like, I'm going to tell you He's supposed to be the smart one.
Yeah.
Let other people fill in the majority of the exposition through chatty Cathy thugs, because that's what normally happens.
Yes.
Him telling an entire room full of fucking hostages that they're like the entire plan is stupid. Him shooting two inconsequential people to show that he means business is stupid.
Yeah.
Him threatening to kill the little girl is stupid. None of this makes him look tough or cool or powerful. He's just, again, kind of like JCVD, more of a wet blanket. He's got the same backstory, essentially, that Ed Harris's character in The Rock has. Only that character is actually captivating.
Interesting.
He's truly charismatic.
Yes.
And has a real story behind him. Powers Boothe is a charismatic guy with a fucking drip of a character.
You want to know what Powers Boothe, what his problem was with this movie? Is that he was Is that he was in it.
Yeah.
He should have just passed on this one. I am a fan of Powers Boothe, but every time I see him, I always think of Craig T. Nelson. So
they are comparable. Like if they played brothers in a movie,
it's believable.
Yeah, and then you just have like James Wood as like the third brother, who's like, let's see who's the bigger asshole of the three of these guys.
He's like the Fredo of the bunch, but like, no, listen. At the end of the day,
that's Rob Schneider.
This movie's terrible.
No, this movie's shit.
There was no redeeming quality to this movie. And again, for a movie that I was like, oh yeah, sudden death, I remember that. And here's the shitty thing. We've done so many JCVD movies, and thanks, I guess, Damien, for requesting them, but not really. I mean, we love you, but guy, like other things.
Your money's green as fuck, homie. I'll give you that. So yes. You're cool.
What's shitty about it is not that we have to review all these. What's shitty about it is that I used to hold JCVD movies in a lot higher regard in the past. Mm-hmm. And now that I've gone through and rewatched and commented and given my commentary on these movies, his movies are slowly sliding down this list of like, I like JCVD movies. Now, if anybody asks me about JCVD, I'm like, his movies are all trash with the exception of a few.
Yeah, it's very disappointing.
It's ruined my childhood. We're supposed to do that to people.
Yeah, we joke with a lot of people that we're going to ruin your childhood by reviewing these older movies, but the truth is, all we've done is ruin JCVD for us.
Yes.
Because I'm with you. Like, I will
absolutely
never intentionally watch one of his movies unless it's like Expendables 2, because he was such a great bad guy.
Yes.
But other than that, fuck this shit.
Hoo-ah. Well, with that said, you don't got anything else. I don't got anything else. For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1995's Sudden Death.